Have you ever felt like you're carrying the weight of the world, not because you wanted to, but because it seemed like everyone else needed you to? Picture this: a young woman named Maya, standing at the edge of a bustling city park, watching families laugh, couples stroll, and joggers race by. Her phone buzzes relentlessly. Work emails, family demands, a friend's urgent text. She's always been the one to smooth things over, to say yes when her heart screamed no, to keep the peace at the cost of her own. Sound familiar? If you've ever felt stretched thin, drained by the expectations of others, or like your own dreams have been tucked away in a drawer for too long, this story, and this moment, is for you. Maya's life wasn't always this way. Growing up in a small town, she was the mediator, the one who could calm any storm. Her family leaned on her to settle disputes. Her friends relied on her to listen, and later, her colleagues counted on her to keep projects on track. She was proud of her ability to bring harmony, but somewhere along the way, she lost sight of her own needs. By the time she hit her 30s, Maya felt like a candle burning at both ends, flickering, fragile, and dangerously close to burning out. If you've been juggling the needs of others, compromising your own desires to keep everyone else happy, you might see a piece of yourself in Maya's story. This isn't just about one woman. It's about a universal journey, one that's been unfolding for many of us over the past decade, shaped by unseen forces and quiet sacrifices. For years, the cosmos has mirrored this struggle. The heavy influence of planets like Saturn and Pluto has cast long shadows, pressing us to confront lessons about boundaries, self-worth, and resilience. If you felt like the last 12 years have been an uphill climb, you're not alone. These celestial giants have been teaching us, sometimes harshly, how to preserve our inner light in a world that often demands we dim it. But here's the good news: a shift is coming. Around July 23rd, 2025, the skies will mark a turning point, a moment when the burdens you've carried begin to lift, like fog dissolving under the morning sun. This isn't just an astrological event. It's a personal invitation to step into a new chapter, one where you reclaim your voice, your dreams, and your truth. Let's rewind to Maya's story to see how this shift begins. One chilly autumn evening, Maya sat on her apartment balcony, staring at the city skyline. She just hung up after a draining call with her sister, who needed advice again. Maya loved helping, but tonight, something snapped. "Why am I always the one fixing things?" she whispered to the stars. That question sparked a journey inward, one that many of us are starting to take. If you've been feeling a quiet nudge, a sense that you're tired of compromising, of silencing your own needs, this is your spark. It's the universe whispering that it's time to stop living for others and start living for yourself. This journey isn't about abandoning your responsibilities or cutting ties with everyone who depends on you. It's about rediscovering balance, not the kind that comes from pleasing others, but the kind that radiates from within. For Maya, it started with small acts of courage. She said no to a work project that didn't align with her values. She carved out an hour each week to paint, a passion she'd buried under the weight of obligations. She began journaling, pouring out thoughts she'd never dared to voice. Each step felt like peeling back layers of a mask she'd worn for years, revealing the woman she'd always been beneath. The cosmos supports this transformation. As Saturn and Pluto shift their positions in 2025, they're clearing the way for healing and renewal. The 8th and 12th houses of your chart, areas tied to transformation and spiritual awakening, are lighting up, urging you to release old patterns. Maybe you've been the perfect friend, always available, or the colleague who never says no. Perhaps you've stayed in relationships or jobs that drained you just to avoid conflict. These patterns serve a purpose once. They kept you safe, accepted, loved. But now they're like clothes that no longer fit. It's time to let them go. Imagine Maya standing in that park again, 6 months later. She's still the same woman who loves her family and friends, but something's different. She's no longer bending over backward to please everyone. She's learned to say, "I need time for myself," without guilt. Her paintings are stacked against her apartment walls, vibrant and unapologetic. She's even started a side hustle, selling her art online, something she never dreamed possible. The shift wasn't dramatic. No grand gestures or public declarations. It was quiet, internal, and deeply powerful. This is what awaits you. 2. A chance to redefine balance, not as sacrifice, but as self-respect. Let's talk about what this looks like in your life. Maybe you're not a painter like Maya, but you've got your own passions: writing, gardening, teaching, or simply sitting in stillness. The coming months are your canvas. Start small. Say no to one thing that drains you. Set aside 10 minutes a day for something that lights you up. Reflect on the moments you've compromised your truth, not with regret, but with compassion. Every time you chose others over yourself, you were learning. Now, you're ready to apply those lessons. The beauty of this shift is that it's not just personal, it ripples outward. As you honor your worth, your relationships transform. You'll attract people who respect your boundaries, who value you for who you are, not what you do for them. Your career will begin to align with your passions, not just your obligations. Even your finances will reflect this change. When you stop settling for less than you deserve, opportunities flow naturally. For Maya, it was selling her first painting, a small victory that felt like a tidal wave of validation. For you, it might be a promotion, a new job, or simply the courage to ask for what you're worth. This isn't about perfection. There will be days when doubt creeps in, when you wonder if prioritizing yourself is selfish. That's okay. Growth isn't linear. What matters is that you're moving toward authenticity one brave step at a time. The planets are aligning to support you, but the real magic happens when you choose yourself. Around July 2025, you'll feel it, a quiet knowing that you're on the right path. Not because life is suddenly perfect, but because you're living in alignment with your soul. Let's pause to ground this in something tangible. Imagine you're holding a journal. Write down one thing you've been doing to please others that no longer feels right. Maybe it's staying late at work every night, or always being the one to organize family gatherings. Now, write one thing you do if you had no one to please but yourself. It could be as simple as reading a book uninterrupted or as bold as starting a business. This exercise isn't just about dreaming. It's about planting seeds for the future. As Maya's story shows, this journey is about returning to your core. You're not here to be the world's peacekeeper, smoothing over every conflict at the expense of your own joy. You're here to shine as you are, flaws, dreams, and all. The world doesn't need another person dimming their light to fit in. It needs you, authentic and unapologetic, living a life that feels true. When you do, you become a beacon for others, showing them what's possible when you choose yourself. This shift is subtle but seismic. It's not about loud rebellions or dramatic exits. It's about the quiet power of saying, "My needs matter." It's about trusting that you don't have to earn love, respect, or abundance. They're yours by right. As you step into this new era, you'll find that life responds differently. Opportunities will find you, not because you're chasing them, but because you're vibrating at a frequency of clarity and self-worth. Your relationships will deepen. Your work will feel more meaningful, and your heart will feel lighter. Let's bring this back to Maya one last time. A year after that night on her balcony, she's standing in a small gallery, her paintings on display. She's nervous but proud, surrounded by friends who celebrate her not for what she does for them, but for who she is. She's no longer the woman who fixes everything for everyone. She's Maya, artist, dreamer, and a woman who's learned that true balance comes from within. Her story isn't over, and neither is yours. July 2025 is a milestone, not an endpoint. It's the moment you step fully into your truth, knowing that the best is yet to come. So what's your next step? Maybe it's a conversation you've been avoiding, a passion you've shelved, or simply giving yourself permission to rest. Whatever it is, trust that you're ready. The universe is aligning, but the real power lies in you. Your choices, your courage, your heart. You've spent years carrying the weight of others. Now, it's time to carry your own dreams. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.
I invite you to enjoy and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit too. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts and experiences. Thank you for watching and joining us on this journey. We'll see you in the next video. Blessings.